Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the battery saver functionality on your Garmin Instinct Solar watch. So I like to mention I'm using the Garmin Instinct Solar non-tactical version of the watch. If you happen to have the tactical version, this video should work fine for you. Unfortunately, if you don't have one of the solar models of this watch, this video is not going to do you any good. Currently, this feature is only available on the Garmin Solar models. I also like to mention I'm using the watch as delivered from Garmin. I haven't made any adjustments to what any of the keys do. So the Garmin Instinct Solar watches come with a feature called Battery Saver. And what it does is it allows you to put the watch in basically a low battery mode, so it preserves your battery life as long as you want it to. Along with Battery Saver, you also have the ability to adjust what happens when Battery Saver mode gets put on. So I'm going to walk you through all of that right now. Now, the one thing I'll mention is I'm going to go to it through the menu. You can also add Battery Saver as a option in your widget wheel. I've got a video out there that shows you how to add things to your widget wheel, but for this video, we're just going to go through the menu to do it. So if we want to put the watch in Battery Saver mode, we're going to press and hold the menu button. Notice I've got 10 days of battery life, 41%. We're going to go down to settings, press the GPS button to select settings, and then we're going to go all the way down to Power Manager. And in Power Manager, we're going to see the option for Battery Saver. If I want to turn it on, there is a status button. Currently it's off. If I turn it on, it's on. Now notice, if we go all the way back, it tells me 10 days. My estimated battery is still 10 days. So you're asking yourself, well, hey, I put Battery Saver on. What good did it do me? It didn't get me any more battery life. And that's true. But the reason it didn't is because of the way I've got Battery Saver set up. And that's what we're going to walk through right now. So let's go back to the Battery Saver menu. Power Manager, Battery Saver. But now we're going to go to Edit. And we're going to edit what happens whenever I put Battery Saver on. So when I press this, you're going to have some different options in here, starting with watch face. So currently I have it set to when Battery Saver mode is on, don't do anything different with my watch face. Don't change it. I have the option to choose low power. What low power does is your watch face is only going to update once a minute versus constantly. So if I add that, I should gain about 3 days. If I go down to phone, currently, again, I have it set to don't do anything. If I'm in Battery Saver, don't do anything. Well, I can go in here and I can say, look, if I'm in Battery Saver mode, disconnect my phone. And by doing that, again, I'm going to gain about 2 days. You can do this for all of these different categories. So activity tracking, again, I have it set for don't change. Turn off means in Battery Saver mode, it won't do any kind of activity tracking. No step counting, no stair climb, how many stairs did I climb, that kind of stuff. So I tend to be the type, when I go into Battery Saver mode, I don't want any of this stuff turned on. I'm looking to use the watch just like a regular quartz solar watch. Give me the time and that's it. You have the option for the wrist heart rate. You can leave it alone or you can turn it off. If you turn off the wrist heart rate, you'll notice that you can't do anything with the pulse oximeter. The reason is that function can't work unless the wrist heart rate is on. So by turning off the wrist heart rate, you can also, it also turns off your pulse oximeter. Now, the one thing I will say is you can leave the heart rate on and then just go and turn the pulse oximeter off if you wanted to do that. So there's some different functions there. But for this video, let's turn them all off. And then last but not least, your backlight. So when I'm in low battery mode, does my backlight operate as it always does, or do I turn it off completely? Now, varies by use. When I turn this off, it basically means that I can still turn it on, but only by pressing the light button. So once you've got everything set the way you want it to, you can just press the back button. And then you'll notice that my status has gone up quite a bit to 31 days. So let's go back and see. And now I went from having 10 days of battery life left to having up to 31 days of battery life left because I'm in Battery Saver mode and I've cut off most of the functions that this watch is going to be using that would take up a lot of battery life. You'll also notice when I go back to my screen, there's not a whole lot on it. There's my clock, there's the date, and there's the amount of days I have left till battery. But there's no more graph of solar charging. There's no more moon phase, the stuff like that that I had originally on the screen. Also, if I try and go and adjust the watch face, you're going to see there's nothing really. I can still customize it, but none of this stuff is going to change. Like for example, I'll put on heart rate, okay? Notice how when I go back to my main screen, nothing changed. It's still in battery saver mode. So when you go into battery saver mode, basically it shuts off most everything on your watch. And the only thing it's there to do is give you the time and keep your battery going as long as it can. So that's a real quick walkthrough of adjusting your power saver mode. Let me show you one other thing real quick. I'm gonna go back into the settings and I'm gonna go back to Power Manager. And I'm going to turn off the battery saver. Aside from edit, you also have the option to turn this on automatically during sleep. So if I press this, currently it's off. If I turn it on, notice it turns it on. You have to go into your Garmin Connect app to establish when your sleep times are. But what you can do is you can establish your sleep times in Garmin Connect, and then you can set your watch so that automatically during your sleeping times, it'll go into battery saver mode. And what that does for you is it helps you preserve a little bit of battery life while you're sleeping. And then when you wake up in the morning, your watch is automatically functional the way it normally would. So that's another kind of neat feature. I tend to use that. I'm not worried about notifications or moon phase or activity tracking or temperature, any of that stuff while I'm sleeping. So I tend to go into battery saver mode during my sleeping times. And then when I'm not sleeping, it goes out of that automatically. So when you're done, again, you can always press back and go back to your main screen. Now you'll notice that the changes I made to my screen have taken effect because I'm no longer in battery saver mode. So I hope that's not too complicated. If you got any questions, as always, post them in the comments and I'll help you out. Thanks as always for watching. Have a good day.